So this is tonight's project. It is a never-ending card. So for those that haven't seen them, it's a card that opens in a gatefold and then it opens again and then again and then again. And it just keeps going round, hence the never-ending part. Now you'll see I haven't decorated the last few panels on this particular card as I wanted to do another colour variation and decorate fully a full card whilst I was on today. So this one is Cherry Cobbler, and I chose this because it's one of my favourite colours, but also because it is slightly easier to make it from 12 by 12 cardstock, but I'm going to show you how I've made one from International A4. So we'll be making Bermuda Bay version this evening when I can speak. As you can see, I'm also using the Designer Series paper stacks in the colour schemes. So this one is from the Regals collection, and Bermuda Bay will be from the Brights. But I've got each of the patterns in there. Lots of die cuts and stamps and stuff, but I'm not going to go into too much detail over which ones I've used, as these are entirely open to interpretation. You decorate them how you see fit. I'm going to put it down now because all I'm doing is flipping through it. So I'll quickly go through what you need just to make the card and the DSP pieces. These bits here I'll go into detail a little bit later on. So to make the actual card base, you will need 4 pieces of card, and so these, as I say, are Bermuda Bay, and these are cut at 3 inches by 6 inches. So you need 4 of those. Just check my measurements, make sure I'm right. Yeah, 6 by 3. So 4 of those. And then this is where things get a bit hectic with numbers, so I'll try and keep it as simple as I can. So these are the larger panels, and I've already backed my Designer Series paper onto Whisper White to make life a lot easier for me, for you guys watching, and just for the flow of the video in general. Good evening, Liz, how are you? So the white is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and we need 8 of these in total. So I've done 2 of each of the 4 patterns from the Designer Series paper. So yeah, so the white is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. The DSP itself is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Oh, thank you, Liz. The next size that we've got here, to do the card in the way I have, we need 10 of these. So there will be instances where I have I got 10? 2? Yeah, so you see I've got 4 of that pattern there, 4 of that pattern there, and 2 of that one. So these, the Whisper White is 1 3/8 by 2 7/8. And the Designer Series paper is 1 1/4 by 2 3/4. So 10 of those. And then these little squares here, we need 8 of these, and these are 1 3/8 by 1 3/8 for the Whisper White, and the DSP itself is 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. Thank you, Alison. It's been a lovely birthday actually. Despite restrictions and face masks and all the stuff that we've got going on at the moment because of COVID, I had a lovely morning shopping. I treated myself. I'd been saving up for a little bit for some items, and because I'd been a bit nervous about going out in the shops, I thought today would be a good day to do it, and while I've got the money I'd go treat myself, so I did. Okay, so let's get cracking. So you need your 4 pieces of cardstock first, and each one of these needs scoring on 1 1/2 on both sides on the long side. So you need to do 1 1/2 here, flip it and it's 1.5 again, like so. And you do that on all 4 pieces. So 1.5, rotate, 1.5. One and a half, rotate, 1.5. Got some on that one. My dirty fingers, what have I got on me? You can tell I've been inking already. And last one, 1.5 and 1.5. And that is all the scoring we need to do. Now, I've got a bit of a top tip for you here. When you are cutting your 4 pieces of card, you want to make sure that you are using the same point on the trimmer each time, and I'll explain that a bit more. Let me just grab my trimmer. In fact, it might be easier to explain it on the grid paper, seeing as I've got better lines on it. So I'll bring up my inches here. So some people, say we're cutting at the 8-inch mark, will bring their card to the just before the line, like so. So you can just see, you can still see the line, but you're at the 8-inch mark. Some people cover the line entirely. Now it doesn't matter which way you do it, as long as you are consistent in the way you do it. So if you cut your first piece of card where the card is just before the line, the other 3 also need to be just before that line. And it is because this card is quite inch perfect when it comes to the way it folds, and just being out by that millimetre or so does have a bit of an impact on the card itself. So what we're going to do now is 2 of them go that way and the other 2 go this way. And what you have to do is stick them so that they are corner to corner perfect, so that then when you are bending them and so forth, they bend how they should. Now I'm not scoring them yet, and that burnishing them yet. I will do that once they are glued, and that's just because it is slightly easier then, because you're not fighting with the bends of the card at the same time as trying to get them all perfectly aligned. Right, so rewind back to our 4 pieces. When we crisscross them like so, it's halfway of this corner. So if I do it like that, I don't know how easy you can see that, but you see the line coming down, you want to do just the square corner. What birthday party? This is my birthday party. Oh dear. It's cause I've got some amazing birthday presents downstairs, and straight after this I will be going down and breaking into them. So I am lockdown has turned me into a Lego collector, and today I got quite a bit more for my birthday. So I'll be going down and doing my Lego. There we go. So as we say, line those 2 edges up. So they were bending fine, was my other card. So I'd lined it up nicely, just hadn't glued it right. So there's one. And this makes this corner easier, because now you've got a bit of a guideline, you know where you're gluing. So again, just halfway. And then the same again. Like so. Oop, not quite. The good thing about the Seal Plus in comparison to the old Fuse is you do still get a tiny bit of wiggle room with it. It does still move a little bit after you've placed something, whereas Fuse just was not fuse. It would not move at all after. So now again, just halfway on this, and I'm going to do both at once on this one, seeing as it's tape. Right, but I am gonna do it like this so that I don't go and stick the other corner down. So into the corner. And you'll have seen there, it did get a bit stuck before I was ready. Fuse would have tore the back of the card off, but Seal Plus still allowed me to rescue it. And shh, Deb's giving all my secrets away here. There we go. Right, we're back to where we were, but this time when I bend it, I'm not going to burnish it yet until I've proven that I've done it right this time. When we bend this one, there we go. And again, bend this one. So let's see. So we start it there, we go like that, like, oh, that didn't want to go, did it? There we go. Like that. Right, so now we can burnish them. Now we know we're right. And I'm in the right way. So, burnish. And burnish. Flip them over and burnish this line. And this one. And burnish this line. And then back. Way back. So one. That's my front. I'm going to use that as my front. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. There we go. We're sorted. Right, I'm just going to give those, while it's closed, a bit of a burnish as well. Until I feel that it's as smooth as we need it to be, so it's not catching. Yeah, there we go. Right, okay. Let's get decorating. Finally, I hear you all say. So on my front panel, I am going to decorate them in the same way I did the other one. I had spots in the middle. I had, I'm calling it like a sketchy panel there and there. And then I had like a wood grain in the other two. So we'll pop them on. And again, for speed, and because I'm catching up a bit of time, we'll throw some seal on the back of these. So this is Seal Plus still. Like so. Got a funny feeling my seal's coming to the end of its reel as well. There we go, so we'll get these done. And the only tip I will say is if you're using these stacks same as I have, and one of them has got wording on it, make sure you stick your wording the right way up. Because in my red one, in my cherry cobbler one, I didn't. Or should I say I did, but then when I put the other decorations on, I didn't check which way it was, and now it's upside down. So pop these in the middle, like so. And again, and then we'll pop these ones on. You'll see me and Seal Plus are actually friends now. It didn't like me at first, but we're back, we're good. Okay, so there's the front. I'm going to do the DSP on all the other layers first before I crack on to the decoration itself. So this is the one where I've used the script. And this is where, when I made the original, I didn't check the way the script were going. And as you can see, when I've put my decorations in, the writing's actually upside down. So there's another little top tip for you. Don't do a Suzanne. So 1. And then what other patterns did I do? I did sparks, so there's my sparks on them 2, and I did wood grain on these 2. So again, just keep decorating them on, and I prefer to do it in this order, as in doing all my DSP first and then the decor, because once I get into doing the decor, there was dies everywhere, stamp sets everywhere, and at least I had all my DSP stuck down, otherwise I can't imagine the mess my table would have been in. Stuff of nightmares. Would have given my upline a heart attack. Her motto is, don't put it down, put it away. So if you've heard of that before, you'll know who I'm speaking about. And I've started to live by that a little bit better than I used to, but I wouldn't say I'm quite there yet. Get that off there before I stick my card in it. Right, and then this is where the squares come into it. So on here, what did I put on my 3rd one? I put those there. I got my 2 wood grains and put them there, and then I got a spotty in there and a wording and a wording in there. So again, more. So it is very glue intensive, is this card, but I think you'll agree they are worth it. They're really fun. I love making them, when I remember to make them correctly, but we got there. So has everybody who's watching done their comments on the giveaway posts so that you can be in the chance to win the box of pumpkins? Yeah, that's what I'm giving away. Paper pumpkin box of sunshine. So if you're not aware of what that is, the paper pumpkin collection is it's a subscription that's mainly in the US at the moment, but we have been given access to the box of sunshine, which was the collection for well, it was released over here in the August, and inside is all the stamps, card bases, envelopes, there's some die cuts, there's some stickers, everything you need to put together. I think it's 8 cards. And then the lovely little box has tissue paper in it that you can reuse. It comes with a big enough sticker to cover the branding on the front so that you can re-gift the box to somebody. It has instructions if you are perhaps new to crafting, haven't got a clue how you're going to use these materials. The only thing you need to add is a block to actually stick your stamps to. It comes with adhesive, it comes with some sequins, so it comes with your embellishments, and that is what's up for grabs next week, once my 7 videos are over and I can count all the comments on the posts, and so on. Okay, last one I promise. What have we got here? What did I do on this one? I don't know. What did I do? So one there, one there. Done it a bit differently to my other one. Look, so it's meant to bend there. Well, we'll just chop it in half for the sake of this. I've had you all waiting too long. So what do we need to chop it at? What are we at? 2 7/8, so 1 3/8. Clearly done something in a different direction to what I did it last time. There we go. That'll do for now. And we'll pop those there for now. It's not going so well, this one, is it? I must have done it in a different order on the other one. Ah well, we're going to decorate it, you won't be able to see it. So we'll throw these on. And what is it they say about crafting? There are no such things as mistakes that you can't cover up with a decoration or an embellishment. So that's what we're going to do. Or the other saying is, there are no such things as mistakes, they're just creative opportunities. Not sure I'd go that far on this one. Hey, I don't know if you all agree. Right, last two pieces and then I'll show you the decor that I've picked for these. Ah, see, I know what I've done there, look. So we did that one fine and that one fine. And then here, these bits are actually squares. Ah well, it still looks good, or it will once we finish decorating. Right, pop it back to the front. Okay, so on this one I've used quite a number of different die cuts. So Happy Birthday is from the Well Written die set, and that's got a lot of scripted words in it. In fact, if you are after words as a script, full stop, that's the one I'd go for. It's got lots of words. The bundle that it came with, which I don't think it's a bundle anymore, but the stamp set and the dies they suit every occasion. There's baby, there's birthday, there's Christmas, there's all sorts in them. So Happy and Birthday. This one here was from, I think it's from the Tasteful Labels, and then the star is from the So Much Happy stamp set. These are from the Happy Dies, these little banners here. And then I think that's from the same set. Yeah, no, this is from Here's a Card. This is from Here's a Card. And then this is from, the little heart is from Banner Year. So I'm just going to quickly stick on what I've got here. So these are still in their die because I've got some adhesive sheets on the back and they peeled off when I brought them out. So I didn't want to lose them or stick them to something I didn't want to stick them to. So we'll pop these on quickly. Where's my piercing tool? There, let's pull that out of there. There we go. So stick that firmly, pop this one out. Now, is there any sets that you guys go to for? I've gone for birthday here, but is there any particular sets that when making cards that you go to straight away? Any tips for any others who may not have sets like that as yet? As I say, one of mine is Well Written, as it's got something for every occasion in there. One of my others would be the Here's a Card set, because the sentiments are quite neutral and you can make it your own. So pop these out like so. And so, as I was saying, I've stuck these onto the cling adhesive sheets. They're literally a sticker page, and then all you do is cut a piece enough to go behind your die as you're running it through the big shot, through the cutting emboss machine, and then you peel it like a sticker. And it's really good for those that, I'm useless with the fine tip glue, and I find that this is so much easier, and you just push them down like a sticker and that's it, done. So much easier than trying to stick the things down that are so fiddly. And I think I did the same with these. I can't remember. Did I put this on sticker too? But I tend to do it with anything that's got a small area for sticking. Don't look like I did it with these ones. It just takes away some of that heartache when all you can see is glue spilling out between your die cuts and you've got nothing to cover it with. So all I'm doing on this one is putting a tiny blob of Tombow on those little banners, and then just pick that up, and I'm going to line it up over here. Move this down. Like so. And the same with this one. Tiny bits of glue. In fact, what I do is I make a little blob on the side of my paper, and then I know I've got the glue right to the edge of the nozzle, and I literally just dab it, and it leaves it in like a little, you're not getting too much then, but you're getting enough that it will still stick to the card. We'll pop that one over in this corner. There we go. So then we're going to use my seal again. I'm going to pop a star down here, and we're going to pop another one in the other corner. So then that's the front done. So inside, I've used the Stitched So Sweetly dies, and I've got a Tasteful label die as well here, and these are from the Here's a Card. Yeah, so here's a card for the happy birthday, and here's a card for the It's All Messy sentiment, and then the little heart is from Banner Year. So Banner Year is another good one. Comes with lots of little stamps, all for varying sentiments throughout the year. So we're going to pop star and star there, and then we're going to do a balloon and a balloon there on this one, I think. So we'll get these stuck down, and I'm just using seal again for Seal Plus, sorry, just for speed. If I had a bit more time, I would have probably used Tombow just so that I can get everything central, all looking good, straight, because nobody wants a wonky sentiment. And as I was saying, it gives you that wiggle room if you do that as well. There we go, one more. You can see where I've re-stamped on these because they were stars, and I've decided to jazz things up with a few balloons. Okay, on this one, so what we're going to put on here. we've got 2 more sentiments. So these ones, A Bunch of Birthday Love to You is from Boho Indigo, and You're So Fabulous is from Many Mates. So am I missing some sentiments somewhere? I am. So we've got some balloons for the centres there, and then these ones. So this little balloon is from Happy Dies, as is these little stars. So we're just going to put those ones like this. Like so. And I can see the red at the end of my Seal Plus looming closer and closer. So 1, 2, and then I'm just going to put bits on more on these just because of the size of them. Like so. And then you could leave the back part, so this next fold, I'm going to leave the bit where I made my error as the bit where I could potentially write on. What I could have done is not stuck the bits on that I did stick on. I'll show you in a sec. Let me just stick this on. Let's stick these as well. So these cards are a good project for, as Debbie said earlier, maybe kids. Imagine how much quiet time you'd get from them sticking all this stuff on. So yeah, as I was saying, this last part here could have been left blank for you to write your message. You could have just stuck the white rather than sticking the designer series paper as well. Or I don't think it's going to work if I do that, will it? No. It would have been nice to do that, but it won't work because of the way it folds. But yeah, that can be where you put your final message. Maybe another happy birthday in those well written dies instead. We'll stick these bits down and then I'll quickly summarise the card, and you'll see how it's quite a weighty card once you've brought it all together, because the layers of DSP card, technically there's a layer of cardstock, at least 2 because of the way that they overlap one another. Then there's a layer of Whisper White, then there's the DSP, and then there's your decoration on the top of them. So you've got a number of layers. So at first, when you first put your DSP together, you think it's not going to be sturdy enough, but promise you it is. So we'll go back to the beginning. So there we are. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then the final one, and then back, and it can just keep going. And that's the joy of the Neverending Card. Obviously you want to plan better than me, and so that when you cut your paper you remember which way you've done them before you go do one wrong. Like, it should have been that way really, I think. Should it start there? 1, 2, square, yeah. So I should have started mine so that my gatefold was top to bottom. Or there, yeah, there. But it doesn't matter where you start, as long as you figure out which blocks are going to be on which fold and so on. So that's my Bermuda Bay one, and there is my Cherry Cobbler one. So I need to finish decorating the Cherry Cobbler, but then you will need to make your own envelope, unless you can. No, I think it just probably won't fit in a 6x6. So you'd need like a 6 and at least a 6 1/8 envelope. that you'd need to make for it. The good thing is they also stand up. Let's see if I can demonstrate that properly. Look. So you only need to open them ever so slightly and they'll stand. So you can display them as well. I love them. You can do them any size as long as your pieces are half the width and the full length on it. So if you want a 6-inch, you need it a 3x6. If you want a 4-inch, it'd be a 2x4, and so on. Okay, so I've somehow managed to get to the end and not made many more mistakes, although the first mistake was quite a biggie. Thank you for sticking through that error while I quickly got some more card and redid the instructions for you. Tomorrow I've got another of my, so if you keep in touch with my blog and my videos over the last few months, you'll have seen I made a circle box using the circle dies. Well, this one is an oval box instead, in the same way. So I'm going to recap how to bring one of these together. But it's oval box with a flush lid, and this one we're using the Hallows Night Magic Suite. So we've also got an ornate frame here, and I've gone with a Blackberry Bliss with some spiders on this one. Tomorrow's will be Pretty Peacock, if I remember correctly. So that will be tomorrow, same time, 7:30 tomorrow night, here on the Hullahbaloo Facebook page. With a little bit of editing, this video will be available tomorrow, and all the details of what I've used will be on my blog. My blog details will only describe how I made the card base, because to put all those decorations on is entirely how you want to decorate it, but I will list what I've used just for inspiration. Thank you all for sticking with me, and I will see you all again tomorrow evening. Bye bye.